There's no greater feeling in the world than that of accomplishing your goals. You know that feeling when you've studied your tail off and you get the test paper back and you saw you got an A in the paper? Or when you've been putting in the work in the gym and you finally get down to that weight you've been working for, you've been eating healthy and everything. It's incredible. It's the greatest feeling ever of accomplishing your goals. You know what else feels good? When you open up your computer, your laptop, and you go to a website and you watch this incredible, ridiculous, amazing fantasy of a porn. Yeah, that feels good too, right? Huh? Now let's compare the difference between these three scenarios here is that getting that A plus, getting that body that you want, that takes work. You got to go to the gym. You got to eat right. You got to put in the time. And then at the end, you get that reward that you've put in so much effort for to achieve. Getting that A, you have to study, you got to go to class, you got to do all the right things and study groups, and then you get that test paper back and you saw you got that A. It's a great feeling because of what you put into it. Pornography, now let's take a look at that. All you got to do is open up your laptop, go to a website, click a button, boom, you got your greatest fantasy you couldn't even imagine at the click of a button. And what's even worse about that is one of the greatest gifts that we have to become motivated is that of sexual energy, of the orgasm. In nature, whether you were a peacock flocking your feathers to try to attract a mate and get laid, or you were a lion or a gorilla or a monkey in the jungle trying to represent yourself as the most alpha in the group so that you can potentially get the most option of females to mate with or so forth. One of the greatest gifts that we have to become motivated is that of our sexual energy. Napoleon Hill writes about this in Think and Grow Rich, that one of the greatest sources of our energy is our sexual energy. Now, when you imagine if you could just click a button and then all of a sudden, you got that body that you wanted. You didn't have to go to the gym, you didn't have to work out. All of a sudden you just click a button and you got that A plus and you didn't have to study. You wouldn't really feel that motivated to do these things, would you? To put in the work and the sacrifice. Well, that's what porn does, see? One of the greatest gifts that we have to be motivated, typically in nature, if we want to, how it's supposed to be, if you want to attract a sex and mate, you got to actually improve upon yourself to make yourself attractive to the opposite sex, and then actually have the balls, the cojones, to go up to them and introduce yourself and engage, and then, seal the deal, baby, right? But when you can get all that at a click of a button and see, instantaneously men or women on camera that look 100 times better than any girl you've ever seen out on the street doing things that, you've never, no girl in your wildest fantasy would ever think about doing. It kind of kills the motivation for that. And so this is the thing. Studies, more and more research and study is coming out that porn is actually just as addictive as drugs. People are like, whoa, I know you guys might be freaking out now, but just hear me out for a second. Open your mind just for a second. The mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open. So chill out, take a deep breath, and listen to me for just a second. When you take a drug, or when you accomplish a goal, or you do something that, like eating candy, what happens is any kind of feel-good experiences, that neurochemicals within the brain get released that allow us to feel good, that allow us to feel great. That's what makes you feel good. Now, when you're doing something that can be accomplished at the click of a button or a quick sniff of a line of cocaine to release all those incredible feel-good chemicals that typically need to be worked for, and because it's so frequently, that all of a sudden a tolerance starts to be built up. And the studies have shown that the exact same thing happens with porn. So let me just share with you my own story and why I got to the point where I stopped watching porn, and it's now been almost 3 years of not watching porn, and what it's done for me. See, when I was younger, at the first time that I was ever introduced to pornography, I was in middle school. I remember one of my buddies, he had a ripped out page from a Playboy magazine, and it was like a really soft porn. I mean, this girl, I think it was just her breasts that were showing, and I remember it was like gold. I treasured that. And then I remember also in middle school, one of my friends, his dad took us out to lunch at either Hooters or Wing House, I can't remember which one, and he bought us actually each a Hooters or Wing House girl calendar. And I remember my mind exploded, and when I hid that sucker in between my mattress, and that was like, for the rest of middle school and high school, was just like a gold to me. I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, these girls were just in swimsuits and everything, but it was like, every time I looked at it, I just wanted to explode. So fast forward, I became an adult, moved out, got my own place and everything, and, I jumped on the computer, was watching porn, and before you knew it, the things that excited me before, that silly little calendar with those gorgeous models on there didn't really excite me as much. So, I started upping the ante, watching more aggressive porn and more aggressive porn. And before you know it, years later, I got to the point where I literally had paid membership to different porn sites. Even with the abundance of free porn that there is on the internet, I was paying subscriptions for a higher level quality of porn, and I would go to the store and buy DVDs and this and that. And I didn't even really think of it as a problem. I mean, I didn't even comprehend that it could possibly be a problem until finally I found that I didn't really have a strong motivation to go out there and socialize with women and things like that. I just didn't feel as motivated to do these things. And even in my dating relationships, I found that it was kind of it just wasn't working as well down there as it used to. I remember it was kind of wow, for a young man in his 20s, I shouldn't be having problems with a sex drive already. What the heck is wrong? I mean, I'm healthy and everything. I'm eating good. Why would I be having problems sexually, in bed with a woman? It doesn't make any sense. For a young, healthy man, it doesn't make sense. And so I started researching, and I remember I came across a TED Talk in which this guy talked about how porn affects us, and actually is one of the leading causes of erectile dysfunction. Who would have thought, right? And that by watching too much porn, that it in fact can ruin your sex drive, and it can actually take 6 months up to a year to reverse the damage that was done. And so when I saw that, it blew my mind, and I said, you know what? Anybody that knows me knows I love 30-day challenges, and so I said, I'm gonna do a 30-day challenge, no watching any porn, and see what happens. And it wasn't easy. I mean, I remember it was kind of hard, but I got used to it very quickly. And fast forward now, it's been 2.5, almost 3 years since I quit watching porn. And some of the benefits that I've noticed over this time is that my sex drive is huge now. It's drastically improved. I mean, I get excited just looking at all the beautiful women on Instagram and things like that. I mean, it's and I feel like I did when I was a teenager, because the only time that I ever actually get to experience the beauty of a woman's body or anything like that is if it's because I put in the work to earn that situation rather than clicking a button. And so I'm really excited when I get into that situation. I've also noticed that it's increased my level of motivation, because by knowing that is the only way that I'm going to be able to experience the beauty of a woman's body and everything is by improving myself and making myself more attractive and putting myself in social situations that may be awkward to try to meet people of the opposite sex. I've developed more motivation in my own life. And also in relationships as well. I mean, currently I am single, but I do know that when I am, dating or in a relationship, I am very attracted to that person. And anybody that's dated me can admit that. They'll say, wow, this guy definitely has a high sex drive. And on the opposite, when say you were married or you were in a relationship, then you were, watching this incredible, porn of this model that is, probably fake all over, a lot of plastic, whatever. They probably got a tan right before doing the shoot. They got their makeup on. They're all looking perfect and everything. And then they're going to do stuff that'll just blow your mind. And then all of a sudden your girlfriend comes home, has been working all day and is tired and this and that. And you guys go to make love and it just doesn't seem as exciting. What do you think long term that's going to do to your to your relationships and things like that, and to your wife, and so forth? Where on the opposite, what I recommend and what I suggest and what I did to myself is I said that I'm going to tell myself no, that I can't watch porn, that the only way that I can ever experience that is if I earn it. And now when you tell yourself no to porn, then what you're really doing is you're telling yourself yes to reality. Train yourself instead to become attracted to your partner, your wife, your girlfriend, so that when you see her, it's exciting because you haven't seen a pair of titties in a while, and then so now you're excited, and every time you see her, it's like the first time, and you're excited, and you're thrusting her body because you don't get to just see it at the click of a button. It's something that you got to earn over and over again. Tell yourself that, and it'll begin to improve your relationship. Now, just a little disclaimer, guys, because I know there's some people probably closed off right at the beginning of this video, but I just want to say something as a disclaimer. That yes, you can still become wildly successful and have a great life if you watch porn. In fact, I have a lot of friends that do watch porn and that are in relationships that are going good, at least I think, from what I hear, that are successful in life and things like that. So this isn't the end all be all, saying if you watch porn, it's all downhill from here. But anybody that knows me and that sees my videos and things like that knows that I am about the edge, in ways to get the edge, in ways to improve performance. And this is one of those ways that absolutely does work. If you cut porn out of your life, it is going to increase your level of motivation, because you're going to have that sexual energy to want to work harder to be able to see these fantasies become a reality. And with everybody that I've coached and friends of mine and so forth, that I've been able to get them off of porn, not one of them has ever come back and said by giving up porn that it ruined their life. But on the opposite, all of them that gave up porn have never gone back to that. Almost every single friend that I've been able to convince to stop watching porn has never gone back to that, because they've noticed the benefits, and they've continued to notice the benefits, and they like having a higher sex drive, higher motivation, and everything. And so this is kind of my little proposed challenge, because you guys know I love 30-day challenges, so forth. Is start off, just do a 30-day challenge where you say, you know what, for the next 30 days, I'm not gonna watch any porn for the next 30 days. I'm just gonna, it has nothing to do with masturbation. This video is just about porn. That's a whole nother video in itself about masturbation. But just say you're gonna do 30 days without watching any porn at all. Use your imagination. It's funny because sometimes, I know not too long ago I was talking to one of my friends about this, and he said, well, what do you, when you do masturbate, what do you, and I said, I use my imagination. Like, what the? It's like as if that, and that's another thing too. It's kind of like watching TV versus reading. Reading is a lot more beneficial because it forces you to use your creativity and imagine what's going on, where TV does it all for you. Same thing with porn. If you are, masturbating because you are imagining it, versus just seeing it instantly, it's going to build on your creativity and your imagination. And also, if you do have a girlfriend or a wife, get their pictures or videos from them of them, so that way you become even more attracted to the reality, your girlfriend, your lover, or whatever. And so guys, just with that, I challenge you to do a 30-day challenge. So you can go 30 days without watching pornography or anything like that, using your imagination, just making love to your woman. And if you already don't watch porn, please, write down in the comments below why you stopped doing it, what it's done for you, the benefits. I think if you shared your benefits and testimonials, it may inspire others as well to, going down this road and give this a try. With that being said, guys, be to the top and have a great day. I love you.